Alright, so I'm going to be doing the next three sections of Hegel's Phenomenology of Spirit. I did a video 1 through 3, 4 through 6, and then a video on 7 through 10, or 8 through 10, excuse me. 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And this video is 10 through 12 is what this is. I'm doing them in threes, just to, I don't know why, I just like it that way. So we're still in the preface, of course. There's 90 sections in the preface, so we're gonna have a long way to go. But it's a continuation of talk about science. What Hegel deems science to be. He says, still less must this complacency which abjures science claim that such rapturous haziness is superior to science. This prophetic talk supposes that it is staying right in the center and in the depths, looks disdainfully at determinateness, and deliberately holds aloof from notion and necessity as products that reflection which is at home only in the finite. So what's going on in section 10 is discussion of a complacency. A complacency meaning almost a confidence or a I guess, yeah, it's mostly a confidence with something that is less than the full advancement of science. This complacency which abjures science claim that such rapturous haziness is superior to science. Science for Hegel is something that advances and tries to explore all avenues and tries to have a full knowledge of what the world is, and a complacency which is something which is going to settle with a complacency which is I guess confident with something less than that is wrong, is not correct. Findlay says that the complacency which burns as finite, the exactly defined concepts and necessary conditions of science, is not above but below the level of science. That's a lot of what's going on here. In section 10, science, the capital S science for Hegel is something that is mostly, it is absolute, it is above all. Like this is the the full advancement of science, full advancement of all kinds of knowledge that we can have, and science is capital S science is just like the the gosh, what's the word I'm looking for? It is the goal of achieving all kinds of knowledge and not settling with anything less than. As the finite multiplicity without force to hold the multiplicity together, so there's a intensity without content, one that holds itself in as a sheer force without spread, and this is in no way distinguishable from superficiality. The power of spirit is only great as its expression, its depth only as deep as it dares to spread out and lose itself in its exposition. Moreover, when this non-conceptual substantial knowledge professes to have sunk to idiosyncrasy, to the self in essential being, and to philosophize in a true and holy manner, it hides the truth from itself. So we're after, what science is after is the full truth, and science is like this really high and lofty thing, which is just the aim of achieving all kinds of knowledge and trying to achieve the full truth, and not settling for anything less, or not being confident with anything less than that. 11, it says, besides, it is not difficult to see that ours is a birth time and a period of transmission or transition to a new era. Spirit has broken with the world it has hitherto inhabited and imagined, and is of a mind to submerge it in the past, in the labor of its own transformation. Spirit is indeed never at rest, but always engaged in moving forward. So, what we're going to see as we go through this is a dialectic, and a dialectic, what that is he has a system of the dialectic in all of Hegel's writings, and mostly what that is trying to advance forward and trying to again obtain all kinds of knowledge. But this is just a basically the best way to explain that is a advancement mostly. It's always moving forward, and that the whole thing of the dialectic is that conflict will happen in the world, and we will get new ideas and new things out of that. That's the basic idea of the dialectic, is that we view the world as full of conflict, like conflict between ideas and people and things, but better things come out of that. Better compromises or better ideas can come from conflict itself. 12 says, but this new world is no more complete actuality than is a newborn child. It is essential to bear this in mind. When we wish to see an oak with its massive trunk and spreading branches and foliage, we are not content to be shown an acorn instead. So too science, the crown of a world of spirit, is not complete in its beginnings. The onset of a new spirit is the product of a widespread upheaval in various forms of culture, the price of the end of a complicated, tortuous path, and of just as variegated and strenuous an effort. It is the whole which, having traversed its content in time and space, has returned into itself, and is the resultant simple notion of the whole. But the actuality of this simple whole consists in the various shapes and forms which have become its moments, and which will now develop and take shape afresh. This time in their new element, in their newly acquired meaning. So, what we have here is an idea saying that we are trying to really advance this. We're trying to really get at the whole truth. Science being this huge tree. It's like the whole metaphor or of the tree versus a acorn. The tree is what we're after. We're after trying to get at the whole truth and full knowledge. We're trying to achieve full knowledge through science, and that's thus getting at this full, huge trunk. So we're, if we try to, substitute in there a acorn, which is what we're trying to, we are settling for less, or we are taking less than science is, or than science can get at. So the whole thing of these three sections is that the whole absoluteness of science and whole truth, the holy truth of that which science can reveal, and thus you shouldn't make anything less of it. For section 12, Finley says, a new scientific spirit is at first only present in general emotional germ. It is the product of an extensive laborious transformation of previous cultural forms and their resumption into a new simplicity, and must, to be fully actual, redevelop these forms out of this simple unity. So that's kind of the whole thing that these three sections are about. He's trying to sort of get at the nature of what science is and what science does. and he's trying to show what it truly is rather than and not make anything less of it. So that's kind of what I was taught with this. If you think that I've messed something up or left something out or misconstrued something, comment below. Let me know, and I'd love to discuss this with you. Also, if you want to talk about this or if you have a question, also comment below.